Denmark and Squiz life. It's been super real.
Hello, Izzy. Welcome back.
Hello. Thanks for having me back.
Glad you wanted to come back.
Of course. So fun.
Yeah, it is. We're back here in Copenhagen on a beautiful summer day.
Yep.
It's today, Monday, the 8th of May. And you're leaving in 5 days? 6 days?
Saturday.
You're leaving
whenever
Saturday.
that is. 5 days, yeah.
You're leaving Saturday.
Yes.
What, half a year? Or
like 4 months.
4 months. Nearly half a year. I'm going to start by asking you, Izzy, what are you most excited about going back to the US?
Well, I'm from Brooklyn in New York. And this time of year is like super, super pretty there. My dad and I have a cherry blossom tree in our backyard. So excited to sit outside, just be in the sun. I'm excited to not have schoolwork to do because I took 5 classes this semester and it low-key ended up being kind of a lot of work, which I didn't really think I'd be doing. Really emphasis on the study part of the study abroad. So I'm excited to chill. And I have a lot of fun summer plans, but I am very sad to leave. I am kind of not claiming the fact that I'm leaving yet. We're just gonna like let that happen when it happens, and I'm not really thinking about it.
Do you think it's going to be a sad time?
Yeah, especially saying bye to my host family is gonna be really, really sad. I got really close with them, especially my 8-year-old host brother, and they've had 9 host students, and I don't want to be one of the ones where they're like, my name gets brought up, and he's like, who is that? Because with some of them, he says that, and I want to be remembered, you know?
Yeah, understandable. Do you think, okay, it's your last couple of days now, things are rounding up. Do you have a favorite thing that happened in the country, or favorite thing you saw, stuff like that? What's your number one Denmark thing?
That's pretty hard. I mean, overall, it was definitely like a successful semester. I don't really have major complaints on like a personal experience level. I guess some highlights would definitely be I got to work at a school, and it was really fun to get to be at a school and like experience what Danish education is actually like, because that's what I'm studying here. And I was teaching computer science and computational thinking to 7-year-olds, and I got really close with them. So in our last day that I was there, we were coding in Scratch, which is a programming language for kids, and it was like so much fun. So on like an academic front, I'd say that was a highlight. My overall highlights, I think I talked about this the last time I was here, but I went to like a Danish party that was like 30 Danes and me, and honestly at the time of my life, like it was just so much fun, and it's just like awesome that everyone's so friendly and like excited to talk to the American. But yeah, I guess those would be like some top 2 moments. I also went to I got really close with some of the people in my class, so that was super fun. But I don't know, I mean, overall, huge slay, 10 out of 10, so it's hard to pick just a few top moments.
Yeah, well, I guess it's good that we get 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It sounds like you could think about coming back.
Yes. Oh, I'm already coming back. My friend and I are planning on it. We are going to be going to visit the school that we both worked at, and just our teachers. And yeah, I mean, I have to come back. Like that would be really sad if I didn't.
Yeah, it's cool that you're thinking about coming back. Do you have anything that you've learned here that you're going to bring back to the US?
A lot. We'll keep it positive. I think some positive stuff that I learned, definitely on an education front. I mean, that's what I'm super interested in, especially computer science education, STEM education. I love Denmark's emphasis on play in the classroom. And I think that like kids, like little kids who are in Barnehal get such like an awesome opportunity to just like build community with each other. I also really like that teachers like continue for multiple years with kids. I think that builds like a relationship that's really not common in the US to see that. And just like there's so much autonomy that children have here in a way that is like so different in America. And definitely like, I don't know if I would raise my kids in Denmark. Maybe that's a possibility, but definitely like raising my kids or just future kids that I like work with in schools with like agency and giving them the opportunity to kind of carve out their own paths, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. I think that's pretty Denmark. I also love the whole sleeping outside thing. Think it really builds character, and that's definitely you would not. I mean, literally, someone in the U.S. in like a Danish lady in New York left her baby outside in like a pram or whatever, and like fully got arrested. So, I don't know if I could really get away with that one in the U.S., but I just really respect the way that children are viewed as actual human beings. You guys signed the whole like child rights or whatever. Yeah, that's not a thing in the U.S. at all. You're very much like the property of your parents until you're 18. So I think in definitely terms of like how the child is viewed, there's a lot that America can learn from Denmark.
Is there any traditions you're gonna bring back, like some Christmas food or?
Well, I wasn't here for Christmas, so I didn't get to experience that, but I hear it's very lovely. Oh, of course. I need to bring back a ton of the frickin' chocolate for breakfast, and I mean, I eat that like every day. I have
pålægschokolade.
A what now?
Pålægschokolade.
Yeah, that. I literally have like little bun toasted with butter, a shit ton of butter on both, and then jam on one, and then the chocolate on the other, and like I swear, every time I'm eating that, I'm like, this just tastes perfect, and I don't know what I'm gonna do not eating that every day. So I think I'm gonna have to like stock up on both. I don't even know what the jam is. It's like jelly, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I don't know what the hell it's actually called. So yeah, we're gonna need some of that and definitely some of that chocolate. And I will definitely miss having the authentic Danish breakfast back home.
Yeah, the authentic Danish breakfast. So you told in the beginning that like you've been working on a school.
Yeah.
Can you like tell a bit about that? What have you been doing with the kids?
Yeah. So basically, the program I'm in here, it's like a study abroad program for American students, but I'm in the special program that's called Child Development and Education in Scandinavia. And then as a part of that program, I get to be in a practicum course where I've now spent like 45 hours throughout the whole semester working at a school. So I've been with grade 1 kids, so the 7-year-olds. And I started off by more just like chilling, like observing them, kind of getting to know them, a lot of playing with them at recess, taught them a lot of American games. They do speak pretty good English. A lot of them are like kids of immigrants, so there's like more English spoken at home for their age compared to other Danes. And so, I've been able to communicate with them, but obviously the whole language barrier was very much a thing. So a lot of games that don't require as much talking, more physical games that we would do a game called Quack Diddlioso, which they were big fans of, that just involves a lot of clapping. And so a lot of playing with them more just towards the beginning, but then ever since like my 4th visit there, I would start doing different computer science related lessons. So, I was basically kind of working up to introducing them to Scratch, which is actually for kids 8 and up. But I was like, nah, these kids are smart. Like, I know they can do it. We gotta work up to it. So a lot of what I was doing in my lessons was more teaching what I call computational thinking. So not necessarily coding or programming, but more like, okay, what do you need to think about in order to solve a problem in a computational manner? How do you think about something and break it up in different steps? That's what I call thinking algorithmically. And those are really the skill sets that you need at any age to be able to be a programmer. So I was kind of getting them to practice that by doing these like physical embodiments of being a robot. So I'd have the kids be in groups of 2. One of them would be the programmer, one of them would be the robot, and then the programmer would get like a bunch of different little like cards with like different actions on them. So it'd be like walk or sit or dab or squat or snow angel on the floor, and they would have to, the programmer would get to kind of lay out the different cards and the robot would have to enact them. And I don't think that the kids even realized that that was anything computational at all, but that's not really the point. It's, they're supposed to have fun, but there is supposed to be that learning that's kind of beneath the surface there, that's getting them worked up to be able to actually, you know, have a robot on the computer do a set of actions versus their friend in class. So that's honestly been a super big highlight. I mean, I have worked on creating curriculum before. I created my own like course of study at my home university. So I've been doing stuff kind of in, you know, the computer science, STEM education world, but I've never created like a full set of curriculum or, and, you know, taught it. And especially with this age group, that's definitely like pretty young to be doing this stuff. I mean, I didn't even know that computer science was like a thing until I was like at least 14 or 15. So the fact that they're getting exposed to this at such a young age is like awesome. And like, I don't know, maybe one of them will be the next freaking Steve Jobs, and I don't know, who knows, but it's just been really cool to get to teach and hang out with kids. I mean, it definitely showed me that I love kids. Like if I could travel the world just like teaching kids from all different countries how to code, like that would be pretty ideal. So I don't think I would have developed such a love for teaching and also connecting with kids of different backgrounds, different cultures than me, if I hadn't gotten to work at the school. So yeah, it was a pretty awesome experience. And I'll be back 2 more times. I'm going 2 extra times before I actually have to go home.
No, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Izzy, so school and all of that you've been doing, but next to that, you have your social media. And last time we did also talk about this, TikTok and the YouTube talk. But you've been posting on TikTok since we spoke the last time. You have some videos coming over 10,000, 15,000 views. But you've moved, I've noticed that you've moved your focus a bit to another platform, and that's LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I think that my whole take on social media is that I don't view myself, nor do I aspire to be like an influencer. Like if I am creating content, it's an extension of what I'm doing, you know, in person, in real life. I think that always my draw to social media has been that, you know, I'm a creative person. I've always, you know, when I think I talked about this last time, like when Tumblr was a thing, like I had a Tumblr account. I was all like follow for follow, spam for spam. Like I have been interested in creating social media content basically since I got, you know, a phone. But I really think that social media becomes, and especially like content creation, becomes so toxic so quickly if it becomes like your job. Like I would never want like my main source of income or something like to be social media, just like lifestyle content. Like if, you know, if part of my social media or if part of my income came from like creating educational computer science or STEM content, like that would be dope, but that's not really like what I'm going for. And I think that, you know, I had a ton of fun making all these like I'm in Denmark TikToks towards the beginning, but eventually it just became my life, you know, like the novelty sort of went away. And if I'm bored, then I'm not going to make the same thing over and over again. And so it's like, yeah, now half of my following is from Denmark. Cool, guess y'all are gonna be learning about comp sci then, because that's actually what I'm interested in using platforms to talk about. And that's not completely true. I mean, when I'm back at the school, you know, I make a ton of Barnard content, which is my home school, because I work in admissions there too. And I mean, I get DMs from people all the time about Barnard and going to Barnard, and my content is wherever I am and whatever I'm doing, whatever is consuming, you know, me in that moment. But if that changes, like, I don't feel like I owe it to anyone to like put out content if I don't really like actually want to be doing that. So I think it was fun, and the whole novelty of especially like going viral for videos of me just like not knowing how a bus works in Denmark, like that was totally fun. But that's not like part of my end goals in life. And I think part of the switch to LinkedIn is, you know, I'm about to be a senior in college, 4th year of college, and then I'm like supposed to be a real person who like is a professional, quote unquote. And I don't have very professional vibes. That's not really how I roll. But I think what LinkedIn does that it's good is, you know, that's where the working world is, and I kind of gotta be a part of that, whether I love the whole professional vibe or not. Like that's where professionals are. And I think that LinkedIn, having a profile there and putting out content on LinkedIn, that's a really good place to like share a lot of the work that I do, you know, in the CS ed world and STEM education world. I've spent, you know, the past 3.5 years in this space. I've acquired a lot of knowledge. I've met a lot of people, and there's obviously way more to me, but I just like, I feel like I've been doing this thing where it's like, oh yeah, when I grow up, I want to do this. And I can't keep saying that forever. Like sometimes I'm just like, you got to start doing the thing now if you want to do something in the future. I mean, I think also I had a kind of this idea that I wanted to start my own company in the future. And I think that's probably still true, but I think the space that I'm interested in like innovating in has shifted a bit, and like my ideas of what I want to do in the future have shifted a bit. So I'm just kind of, you know, I'm feeling around the social media space. I think that what's definitely true about social media and all the platforms is that having a presence on social media builds credibility. And really, I'm more interested on, you know, there's that side of it, but then also it's a great way to spread information and to you know, education that's free. And so I think that with TikTok, I just felt like, okay, this is fun, but like this isn't like doing anything for like future Izzy ? Like, I don't know. It just like, it felt like a little bit too like trivial sort of. And I was like, I don't know if, you know, I kind of started to feel this pressure of like, oh, I have to make a carousel of what I did today. And I'm just like, bro, all I did today was just go to class. And then I went back. Like, it just, there's much more interesting stuff I could be spending my time doing. So yeah, and if that means I'm not gaining as many followers, like, I don't really care that much. I also think that honestly, I don't know how influencers do it. I really don't, because editing content takes so freaking long, and working with brands, like, I just like don't know if that's for me. I think I really value authenticity and like being genuine and like what I'm creating. And there's some brands I worked with throughout this year where I'm like, your thing is cool, but like I just like, I don't feel like being paid to promote something. Like that's not really who I am. So I think because of those thoughts, you know, career, what I actually want to do, my morals, I've had to make some changes in the way I'm producing content.
Yeah. But I think it's nice that you like see that from a bigger picture and you find out that's not your thing.
Yeah.
Because LinkedIn is also a very good place to get into the working area and make a network and like find new people.
Yeah. And it's really different to create content on LinkedIn, because I think the thing with TikTok too that I struggle with is like you really can't be sincere on TikTok. Like it's just sort of all a prank. And I'm all about the jokes, bro. Like I will roast myself, my inability to code things when that's literally all I post about. Like I am always down to like make the jokes, but I can't be like, here's what I learned from working in a Danish school. Like that doesn't really like land on TikTok. And I think that posting social media content when it doesn't land is just like so uncomfortable for everyone. And it's just like, I feel weird when I see content on TikTok where I'm like, that doesn't really make sense there. And then I feel weird wanting to like share information, but being like, I don't really think this is like the place to actually do that. And if I mean, for entertainers and for people who make lip syncing videos and dancing videos, TikTok's your place, bro. But if I am interested in using social media for ways beyond that kind of thing, I think it can be a part of the package, but I'm never going to be like, yeah, TikTok is my number one thing, because that's not, I don't think what TikTok stands for. And like, I don't know. I don't think that TikTok fully works for like the way I'm trying to use social media.
No, but have you noticed, or do you think about how like your social media perspective has changed since you arrived in this country and now you're leaving? Because when you say what you're saying now, I feel like it's very like obvious that you have another.
Yeah. I guess definitely since the last time we talked, like the way I'm talking about TikTok and social media has definitely differed. I think that comes from like, I don't know. I think definitely what studying abroad has done for me is like, it's really made me think a whole lot more about what I actually value, what I want to do after this experience, you know, what's next, but also what's present. Like, do I need to post all of the photos that August and I took on our walk to the lake yesterday just to show that I did it. Like, I guess the question is, like, who is it for? Because if it's not something that's, like, bringing me joy, then honestly, that's that. Like, I just think I don't owe it to anyone to be posting stuff. And if it's not fun for me, then, like, it's not fun. But occasionally, I mean, I think it's funny that the content that does the best is literally the stuff that's literally doing nothing. Like, I had a video, they probably got like 40K views somewhat recently, that was fully me going to Netto to buy like cheese and pasta to make the most basic dinner in the world because I have the cooking abilities of like literally an 8-year-old. Like, honestly better. I mean, worse. He's literally better at me. Oh my God, I can't even talk. He is better than me at cooking. So I'm like, that's great that did well. Of course, there's always a little dopamine rush from seeing 40K on your account, but that's not what I'm striving for in life. So, here and there. And I mean, hopefully you'll keep following my journey when I'm back home. I mean, it'll be similar. I think once I'm back at Barnard, definitely a lot of like day in the life of being a senior at Barnard College of Columbia University in New York City, right? Because people eat that stuff up. And I do like to give people stuff to eat up, but it will never be my whole thing. And that's why I get really confused when people think of me like as an influencer, because I just like don't view myself like that. I'm just like a person who makes social media content sometimes. And I don't want to be held to like the standard of an influencer either, because that's not what I'm going for.
No, you're going to be Izzy.
Izzy
is your goal.
Yes, exactly.
Izzy, what's the plan now? You're going home, and like, what's the plan from here? No more Denmark?
Okay, well, vi ses, right?
Yeah.
I'll be back. See you later. Yeah, plan is Izzy tries to relax. I'm really bad at that. Like, I don't know how people do that. But I'm going to try in May to just kind of chill, catch up with the homies, be just, this is the longest I've been apart from my dad, like, ever. So we have some plans going on. And I'll hang out with, friends. Then in June, I start working, teaching at Code with Classy, which is a coding nonprofit for girls and non-binary students.
Yeah.
Shout out, Code with Classy guys. I actually got every single like Danish girly in the age range, 13 to 18, who I met. I was like, apply. So if we get some Danish girls doing Code with Classy this summer, I might be their instructor. So hopefully that happens. But yeah, I'll be teaching web development, so HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So yeah, I'll be doing that for 4 weeks, and then I am gonna be at my sleepaway camp, being a bunk counselor for the rest of the summer. And then senior year starts, and I'm in my final year of college, and then I have no idea what happens next.
Okay. At least you have some things planned.
Yeah, I have like the next year figured out, but like this time next year, I have genuinely no idea what I'll be doing. But we're just going to hope it all works out.
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious about that. What do you think you'll be working with? Are we still in the web development area?
I mean, web dev is just like, it's something I like to teach, and I'm working on my own personal projects with, that involve building websites. That's definitely not, I do some web design like on the side, and I have another client I'm supposed to meet with tomorrow actually. So I don't know, maybe like a side gig of that. I think what is most realistic is I'm either working at like an ed tech company, or I'm in graduate school of some capacity. That's probably what I see happening next.
So you see yourself maybe continuing school?
Yes, that's definitely, I think I will definitely continue school. It's just a matter of right after graduating, am I going straight to graduate school, or am I working first? And I think the more practical move is to work, but I would probably rather just go to more school. I could also be teaching. That's another possibility. ideally it'd be nice to like make some money because I want to do a lot of things in life, and having some money to help me do those things would be pretty nice. So yeah, I think I mean, that's a lot of what I'm doing right now on LinkedIn. I keep freaking sliding into people's DMs being like, hey, really interested in what you do. Want to have a coffee chat? So I think maybe my convos throughout, you know, I'm hoping to have a lot of like networky calls in this month and the next month to try to like feel out the vibes. As I said, I mean, I want to be running my own thing. So it's really just like what's happening the next few years to get me to be in a position where I can do that. Yeah. Even if I'm not starting my own computer science education company, like I don't really want to work for other people. I would like to work with other people, but I am not interested in being like just one little person in a big chain of command. I'd rather be in community with other people working on something or top dog. So we'll see. But definitely I think more school is in the equation just because I think I have a lot of questions about the stuff I'm interested in, and it'd be really cool to get to pursue those. So maybe master's in education and PhD in CS education. Professor Squiz sounds pretty sick, so might just gotta go for that, just for that. But yeah, definitely in the education, computer science, STEM, startup ecosystem is definitely where I'll be. It's just the details we don't got figured out yet.
Yeah, they'll be there with the time.
Yeah, I feel like everything's working out as it should. I mean, I didn't decide I was going to Denmark until like very far past the deadline to apply. So I feel like I have a way of finessing, and I'm assuming that I'll be able to. I just think it'll work out.
Yeah, it'll work out by itself eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. But last time I remember we talked a bit about the code with Clossy, and I've since been seeing on your Instagram that you got a lot of people to sign up.
Oh yeah. So many people. Every year I always make it a big push to get as many people as I can to apply, because I mean it's a free program that opens so many doors for you. Like, why would you not apply if you're eligible? Sorry, you're not eligible. Sucks.
Damn.
But yeah, it's always like the best ever to get the DMs from people saying that they got in. Like, they told me, like, I know a lot of the people on the like executive team at Code Clossy. They told me that last year, like, there's always a part where you can say, like, why did you apply? Or, like, how did you find out about this opportunity? And they said last year, like, Izzy Lapidus was, like, the most used thing. There was actually a whole competition, apparently, of, like, you know, if you refer this many people, you get placed on this part of the leaderboard. And I was number one on the leaderboard. I didn't even know there was a leaderboard at all. But I just was, I don't know. But yeah, definitely that was pretty cool. And I'm really excited for all the like first time Code with Clossiers, because I mean, that's how I became interested in CS. I would still be an astrophysics girly if I had never done Code with Clossy. I mean, maybe, who knows what I'd be doing. But yeah, I think I'm really excited for the summer, because I didn't get to teach last summer because I had some other internships I was doing instead. But I'm really excited to be teaching again. And yeah, I love teaching, and I love getting people doing things they didn't even know they could.
That's very understandable. Is it an like online thing?
Yeah, so I'll be teaching. It's virtual and it's in person. There's it's US based, but there's the first ever London camp happening this year. And then I'm actually teaching the virtual Europe camp. So it's possible that if my Danish girlies did end up applying, I will be their instructor, but I don't know if they actually applied.
You didn't get any messages from Danes?
Did I? I don't know. I get a lot of DMs. It's a little hard to keep track of who I'm talking to. People like will DM me and we'll have a convo, and then they'll DM me like a few months later and be like, "Oh yeah, about that thing," and I don't know. It's a lot to keep up with and keep track. I just respond to everyone. I'm like, "Yay, slay!"
Yeah.
But I don't think people. I don't have the personal relationships with some people that I think that they do, because sometimes people be sending me their entire life stories being like, so advice, and I'm like, girl, I don't even know what to do with all of this.
That's maybe another thing about being like influencer.
Yeah, I think it's and that's where it's like, I'm a person, so if I have someone being like, help, here's my life story. What do you want to say to it? Part of me is like, I want to help you or provide advice. The other part of me is like, girl, I don't know who you think I am or what you think I can do for you. Like, I'm just a person doing my thing. So, it's kind of that in between. But I do think that it makes me feel like knowing that someone that has never met me feels comfortable enough based on the presence that I give on social media to literally like trauma dump on me. I think it is a bit flattering to know that they feel comfortable enough, that my presence is, I guess, welcoming enough to do that. So, I mean, I never will say to someone like, whoa. I always respond, but sometimes it will take me a few days because I just don't have the mental capacity to like respond right now.
Yeah, do you get tired of all the like DMs?
I mean, if I am dealing with other stuff and I'm getting these DMs, I'm like, bro, like I don't respond. But if I'm, in the capacity where I have the time and the energy, then yeah, I mean, I love getting DMs. It makes me so happy, especially if people are like being like, oh my God, with class, like I applied to this because of following your page. I never would have applied otherwise. Thank you so much. Like, obviously that makes me so happy. But even something like that, like I can't always respond to if I feel like, it's just like the idea. It's like if you're stressed out and you have a million texts, you could be posting on Instagram, but you're not going to answer the text. So it's sort of like how I feel with DMs. It's just like if I have, the capacity, any DM I want to respond to, and any DM I'm excited to get and read and, give time to, but I'm a person and I have my own stuff going on and I can't be there for everyone all the time.
And that is very fair, especially because you can't be there for every Danish person because now you're leaving. That's sad. Thumbs down.
Huge thumbs down.
What would you rate the year or the 4 months?
10 out of 10. I mean, I really can't complain. I think maybe 9.5 out of 10 because I was late a lot because I lived really far out of Copenhagen and I missed out on a bunch of stuff because sometimes I think about the commute and I'd be like, yeah, no. So I think that's probably my only complaint just with myself for the location was a little bit challenging for me because, I'm used to, I mean, I literally changed dorms my second year of college because the walk was too far and it was 7 minutes. So very, very different situation now. I mean, it's definitely taught me to just get over myself and just get out of bed and, go. Yeah. But sometimes the bed and the distance really won. And I didn't get to go to everything I wanted to. But I'm just more motivation to come back and do all the things I didn't get to do.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, but I want to say thank you for participating in these 2 episodes. It was a pleasure. It was so much fun. I am so glad we got to chat Denmark and Squiz life. It's been super real. The era is over. Sad. I'll be back. It's vi ses. Vi ses. Okay. Is there anything you want to say? Well, to all the Danes listening or watching, thank you for being so kind and welcoming to me. I never thought that would happen. As a New Yorker, we're not very nice to random people in our part of the town, so I really appreciate everyone who's welcomed me to this country, and it made a really good impression, and I'm really excited to return. Yeah, simpelthen. Jamen, thank you for being here, and vi ses. Vi ses.